Ever feel like you're on the sidelines of your own life? Watching opportunities pass you by? You have dreams, ambitions, goals you're yearning to achieve, but something always seems to hold you back. You tell yourself you're waiting for the perfect moment, for a surge of motivation, for someone to give you permission. But that moment never seems to arrive, does it? This feeling is incredibly common. It's that nagging sense of wanting more, of knowing you're capable of achieving great things, but feeling stuck, paralyzed, unable to take that crucial first step. Weeks blur into months, months into years, and those dreams, those aspirations, they begin to fade into the background. There's a powerful psychological phenomenon that explains this feeling with surprising accuracy. And it's not just about emergencies in crowded streets. It's about how we often passively observe our own lives unfolding, waiting for someone else to rescue us, to give us the push, the validation, the permission we think we need. Today, we're going to unpack this bystander effect as it applies to your personal growth, and most importantly, we're going to equip you with the strategies to overcome it. We're going to learn how to stop waiting and start doing. The bystander effect, in its simplest terms, is the phenomenon where individuals are less likely to offer help to someone in need when other people are present. The larger the group, the less likely any single person is to intervene. Now, this isn't about people being inherently uncaring. It's about a subtle yet powerful psychological shift. The core mechanism at play is diffusion of responsibility. Each person unconsciously thinks someone else will take care of it. It's not my problem. Or, I'm probably not the most qualified person to help. But when everyone in the group thinks this way, the tragic result is that no one takes action. Another critical factor is pluralistic ignorance. We instinctively look to others to understand how we should react in a given situation. If everyone else appears calm and unconcerned, we might mistakenly assume the situation isn't as serious as we initially perceived it to be, even if we feel a strong sense of unease inside. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's interesting, but what does this have to do with my personal goals, with my dreams, with the things I want to achieve? The answer is everything. The very same psychological mechanisms that prevent us from intervening in a public situation can also sabotage our personal growth. We unconsciously diffuse responsibility to our future selves, to fate, to circumstances beyond our control. We observe others' successes and think they must have something I don't, instead of taking decisive action to create our own success. One of the most insidious ways the bystander effect manifests in our lives is through the endless wait for motivation. We tell ourselves, I'll start that project tomorrow. I'll begin that fitness routine when I feel more inspired. I'll pursue that dream when I have more energy. But here's a crucial truth. Motivation isn't something you passively find. It's something you actively create through consistent action. We also fall prey to the bystander effect by constantly seeking external validation. We hesitate to share our work, to launch that project, to take that calculated risk because we're terrified of judgment or criticism. We're waiting for someone else to tell us we're good enough, to give us the external green light to proceed. But that validation, if it ever comes, is often fleeting and ultimately unsatisfying. Fear of failure is another potent inhibitor, a major player in our personal bystander effect. We vividly imagine the worst-case scenario. We dwell on potential setbacks, and we convince ourselves that it's safer to do nothing than to risk the possibility of failing. But inaction, by its very nature, guarantees that we won't achieve our goals. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of stagnation. Perfectionism is yet another insidious manifestation of the bystander effect. We tell ourselves that we need to have everything absolutely perfect before we can start, that we need to possess all the knowledge before we can take action. But perfection is an illusion, a mirage. The perfect moment, the perfect conditions, they simply don't exist. And finally, we constantly compare ourselves to others, especially in this age of curated social media feeds. We see their highlight reels, their carefully crafted successes, and we feel a pang of inadequacy. We think, I'll never be as good as them. So we don't even bother to try. But comparison is the thief of joy, and crucially, it's a potent killer of action. It keeps us firmly rooted in bystander mode. So, how do we break free from this self-imposed bystander effect? The first and perhaps most important step is to start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life in one grand, sweeping gesture. Instead, focus on taking one tiny action, one manageable step, each and every day. This is the power of micro habits. It's about building momentum, proving to yourself through consistent action that you are capable of change. 5 minutes of writing, 10 minutes of exercise, reading just one page of that book you've been putting off. These small acts, compounded over time, yield extraordinary results. And here is a simple trick. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, don't postpone it. Do it now. This is a powerful way of getting things done without getting into the "I will do it later" mindset. Crucially, shift your focus from the ultimate outcome to the action itself. Don't get bogged down in worrying about whether you'll succeed or fail. Don't obsess over the end result. Concentrate on the process, on the act of doing. The more you immerse yourself in the present moment, in the taking of action, the less power, fear, and self-doubt will have over you. Let go of the crippling grip of perfectionism. Embrace imperfection. Understand that mistakes are not failures. They are inevitable and invaluable learning opportunities. The only way to improve at anything, to truly master a skill, is to practice. And practice inherently involves making mistakes along the way. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Be kind to yourself. Cultivate self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend who was struggling or facing a setback. Don't berate yourself for your mistakes or your perceived inaction. Acknowledge your feelings, learn from them, and then gently guide yourself back to the path of action. Creating accountability structures is another powerful way to overcome the bystander effect. You can create a goal with friend, sharing your goals and your progress. If it is something you cannot share, just keep track of it. Visualization can be an incredibly effective tool, but don't just visualize the triumphant end result. Visualize the process itself. Imagine yourself taking each individual step, navigating challenges, overcoming obstacles, and persisting through moments of doubt. This will make the entire journey feel less daunting and far more achievable. The bystander effect is a powerful force, but it is not invincible. You have the power to overcome it. You have the power to stop waiting and start doing. So I challenge you right here, right now, today, take one small action towards realizing your goals. Write one sentence of that book. Do one push-up. Send one email. Research one idea. Just one thing. And then tomorrow, do another. And the day after that, keep going. You'll be amazed at how quickly those seemingly insignificant steps compound into something truly extraordinary. Your life is waiting for you. Don't be a bystander. Be the active, empowered protagonist of your own story. Start doing. Start now.